Welcome in, everybody. It is Andy Coppens, your publisher of Talking10.com and host of everything Talking 10 TV right now. And, well, normally you're seeing me doing the B1G Rewind show or reaction pieces to games or previews to games. We're continuing to expand our coverage, and we're going to do reaction to breaking news as well. And as we try to expand to possibly doing a daily show in the future, let's just say this. We had to come in with this because so much for a slow news Thursday. We got the afternoon going with some news out of Lincoln, Nebraska, where Athletic Director Shawn Eichorst was fired after a nearly 5-year stint at the helm of the Huskers program. It certainly was shocking news on the surface, but a look beyond the surface, and this move seemed to be the obvious one. Let's remember, Eichorst was brought in October of 2012, summarily fires Bo Pelini, nearly had a player revolt on his hands, and then shocked everyone with the hire of Mike Riley to replace Pelini. There was little to no input for the administration in Riley's hiring, and this one was all on Eichorst. So what do we take away from what took place today with the administration letting Eichorst go? Well, here are my 3 big takeaways from today. First takeaway, very simple. Timing, absolutely no coincidence here at all. Eichorst being fired less than a week after Nebraska lost 21-17 at home to Northern Illinois. No disrespect to the Huskies program because obviously they're pretty good. But the loss, Eichorst being let go about a week later, no coincidence. Now, ironically, the same thing happened nearly a decade ago when Athletic Director Steve Peterson was fired following a rough start to the 2007 season for his then head football coach Bill Callahan. Tom Osborne, he came on as interim AD, was then the man that fired Bill Callahan, hired Bo Pelini, and then stayed for 5 years. Now, I don't see the stay for 5 years situation happening for any interim AD in this scenario, but it's hard not to see the same type of coaching scenario happening all over again. That brings us to point number 2 here, which is Mike Riley on the hot seat. There's no way around the fact that Eichhorst's firing is a direct correlation to losing by the football team and losing in embarrassing fashion at that. There's also no way Riley is keeping his job unless he pulls a rabbit out of his hat and gets a division crown at the very least and salvages what has been a dumpster fire to the start of the 2017 season. Anyone else also seeing a little bit of other piece of irony here? Because I am. And what I see here is that one of Nebraska's big issues since the Frank Solich days has been his inability to play good defense. It is that inability that has led to Riley being square on the hot seat. And it is hard to argue that Bob Diaco has made a marked improvement, and that was kind of the whole point of hiring Diaco in the first place. Oh, and before you go with the "we needs time" excuse, it's just that, an excuse. I mean, 2013 Wisconsin Badgers go from playing the 4-3 defense for roughly my entire lifetime to playing the 3-4 defense and magically become one of the best defenses in the country overnight. And before you say that's just one example, let's just stick in the division, shall we? Because what about the Purdue Boilermakers of 2017? Yeah, sure, I mean, they gave up a ton of points to Louisville, but who hasn't? Outside of that, though, they've been one of the stingiest defenses the Big Ten has had, at least on paper so far. And even if they aren't the greatest defense out there, they've at least showed marked improvement just by the hiring of a new defensive coordinator. So don't tell me that the right coach, the right scenario, and the right time don't make a difference. Third and final takeaway from Shawn Eichorst being let go as Nebraska's athletic director, well, winning is actually important. Now, finally, a member of the Huskers administration said what too many have been afraid to say in college athletics these days. Winning matters. A lot. Mike Riley and Shawn Eichorst are good people by all accounts, and by my interactions with both of them, they're nothing but quality individuals. Sure, the way Eichorst went about the Pelini firing wasn't exactly smooth, and he rubbed some people the wrong way with his introduction into the program. But that doesn't make him a bad guy. Just being a good guy, getting the student athletes to be better people in the community, and graduate at a higher rate with better grades isn't enough either. The coaches and AD are hired to achieve those things while winning, and that wasn't happening nearly across the board for the entire Husker athletic program. So while a lot of the focus is going to be on the timing and Mike Riley and the football program, you can also point to a losing basketball program. You can point to, while the baseball program is improving, it hasn't really reached the levels of success people want it to. And you can also point to just about every other program being mediocre at best. Now, Huskers football is a great example of that, having been mediocre to the tune of 9-4 last season, and looking more of the same in a third season for head coach Mike Riley. Not exactly good news all the way around, and a perfect reasoning for Shawn Eichorst's firing. On that note, thank you to each and every one of you for listening to us here. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and do not forget to subscribe, and spread the word for our YouTube channel here. Thank you so much, and keep on living the B1G life.